Hey guys, it is Jenny. How are you today? I was gonna share this video so that some more people could hop on, but the button's not there, so I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, so I wanted to update you guys on my crazy Airbnb disaster situation that we're dealing with. If you saw my post from last weekend, we stayed in this amazing apartment in Philly. It had this amazing view. It was a studio apartment, nothing too fancy. I spent a good amount of money on it, which was to be expected because of where we were staying. But the hosts themselves were just a nightmare to deal with. So let me just refresh your memory in case you have not seen the video before. What are you doing just standing in the background? Scooch. Move. Okay, so the first night we got there, we went to, we stayed in Philly. Took us like 5.5, 6 hours to get there. We'd never been there before. Found this listing on Airbnb. Rented it. Looked awesome. Basic. It was a studio apartment. But the, can you get me my charger cord, please? Unplug the iPad and get my charger cord. I'm losing my train of thought. So we went out Friday night to explore the city, do a tour, blah, blah, blah. Come back, get ready to go to bed, sit down. I felt something move, and I heard this, like, something fall and hit the floor. We look under the bed, thank you. We look under the bed and discover that the frame of the bed, it's a very cheap metal bed, platform style, I guess you would call it. It didn't have a box spring or anything. So it was the kind that had, like, the slats across, but it was metal. Well, the brackets that hold the bed together were completely jacked up. I'm talking like they should have been like this, and they were bent up like this. The bed, you could have touched it with your finger, and the bed rocked and swayed like it was going to fall and break at any moment. So we were really annoyed about that because we were super tired. We went to scavenge, whatever you call it, the place to look for like a screwdriver or something. Y'all stop coming in and out of the shot because it's distracting me. To look for a screwdriver, and what we found was mildewy linens in the washing machine, and it was very obvious that they had been there for several days. Go in there. Yes. They had been in that washing machine for several days. The house manual says when you leave, checkout procedure is take the linens and anything you used off the bed, put it in the washing machine for the cleaner. So apparently whoever there stayed last did that for said cleaner, but then the cleaner just didn't find it. So the next day we actually were looking around for something, I guess to see if we could actually find a screwdriver, or maybe it was still that night. Anyway, we had to sleep, like, we couldn't move at all because we were afraid it was going to break. We couldn't sleep on the couch because it wasn't a real couch. It was just this crazy little love seat. The air mattress had no plug. It was just the most bizarre situation. The next day, we were looking for something. I can't remember why he opened up the cabinets, but I made the comment, you know, this is really weird that it was listed as a fully equipped kitchen when it's not fully equipped. Maybe their definition is because it's got a oven and a dishwasher and a microwave, maybe. So Daniel starts opening the cabinets, and it's completely bare. It's empty. He opens the dishwasher, and there's a full load of dishes in there. And it still had like powdered soap. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know how long they had been in there or what. But it was just the most surreal thing. When all this was happening, I was taking pictures of this broken bed. And I was sending it through Airbnb to the listing hosts. Which when I purchased this listing, it was this couple with a man and a woman. and the woman's picture was the profile, but it looked kind of phony. Like Neve from Catfish would have picked up that this was a phony profile, because it was like a model. What, these? So the next day, while all this was happening, we went to New Jersey the next night. We took the ferry over. I didn't hear anything all day long. I got text messages, or I got a message in AirBNB because I had said, you know, are you getting my messages? Because I hadn't heard anything. Well, then I was getting phone calls from a New York number. I don't answer phone calls from numbers that are not saved in my phone, number one. Number two, my first thought was that it was the host, but I didn't want anything to be done over the phone like that. I wanted documentation of every conversation that we had, because it was very obvious that these people were going to be trouble. So I got a text message in the app, in the AirBNB app, from the host saying, can you please call us? And I said, we're at a concert. A phone call won't be necessary. I've already explained what's going on. I want a refund of my cleaning fee, because it's very obvious we did not arrive to a clean apartment. I get a text message from a guy. I'd read it, but I'm on my phone. Basically, the house manual says the cleaner's name is Brian, and you got to be out of the house by 11 sharp so Brian can come in, because they're on a tight schedule. Meanwhile, the listing says, you know, come and go as you want. If you need to stay past, it's fine. Just let us know ahead of time. It's no big deal. But then the house manual says a whole nother story, which was kind of fishy. Brian is text messaging me, saying we're trying to get a new bed. Can we go in and replace it? And I said, no. We're in New Jersey. We're at a concert. We're not even near the apartment right now. I don't want anybody in there while we're not around. Legit, right? Like, that's a pretty normal response from somebody. If you're having like these weird trust issues with someone anyway, especially if it's a stranger, you're not going to want them in your place. When we go to hotels, I put the do not disturb. I don't want the cleaning crew in there with my belongings at all. So I'm not going to let someone come in and work on a bed with all of my things there. It's just not going to happen. Had we not been in New Jersey at a concert, it would have been different, but there was no way we could have gotten there to meet them or anything. So, you okay? Basically, this guy, Brian, that was supposedly just the cleaner, was bantering back and forth with me. You know, I said, the bed's fine. Just leave it. We'll deal with it. We're only here one more night. We'll just deal with what we've got to work with. I just want it to be known that I want a partial refund. I want my cleaning fee back because I didn't get a clean apartment. And if I don't, then my review will show my dissatisfaction there. So he's going back and forth with me, telling me his mom was dying, and because of me, he quit his job, and it's the Northeast, and everything is expensive. I never complained about it being expensive. I willingly paid almost $600 to stay in this apartment in City Center in Philadelphia. That wasn't the issue. My issue was, and tell me if I'm wrong here, give me a like or a thumbs up or whatever, if you would feel this exact same way, but if you go somewhere, and if you've never used Airbnb before, it's vacation places that you rent from private people. It's not hotels or anything. These are private listings. Sometimes it's their home, sometimes it's their vacation home. It doesn't really matter. The fact is you're dealing with people privately. So my issue was I paid almost $200 for a cleaning fee, and I did not receive a clean place to stay. Do you see what I'm saying here? So I think, out of fairness, I should get my cleaning fee in return because of what I had to deal with. The second night, we had to take the mattress off the bed and sleep on the floor. Would you pay almost $600 and sleep on the floor? I don't know why I did that. I should have demanded a full refund right then and there, and we should have left and gone to the hotel down the street. but it was just, I wasn't thinking rationally at that moment because I was mad that I was having to deal with this. It was hot. It was just ridiculous. We were tired. So, meanwhile, while dealing with this guy that's supposedly just the cleaner, the profile picture for the listing hosts changes to 2 men. Then they have this signature on their messages that always said, you know, his and her name, so that it was always default. It would always say, you know, thanks for the message, blah, 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 his and her. Well, now, after this profile picture changed, now it says these 2 guys' names. And the guy that's the cleaner is actually the host. So I'm paying the host almost $200 extra to do what? We take the linens off the bed, which we didn't do because we couldn't. There were mildewy linens in the washing machine. But as the guest, you dismantle the linens and the bed, you put everything in the washing machine, and you take all the trash to the trash chute. So really, you're not doing $170 worth of cleaning. You're basically just pocketing extra money, right? Do you see what I'm saying there? So it was just a disaster, which was really disappointing. This was my second time doing Airbnb. The first time was great. We went to North Carolina and we rented a vacation home from a couple, an older couple, and they were fantastic. This couple seemed great. Their communication was great up until I started to have an issue, and then they didn't want to deal with it. I just saw today that they left me a review, but the way, you don't want this? The way Airbnb works is, if you want to see what the review is about you, then you have to write the review on the other person. And once a review is written and submitted, you can't change it, you can't edit it, you can't delete it, you can't do anything but reply. So basically, this guy that's told me he quit his job because of me, which is such baloney. These people are so fake and phony, I can't believe this. They wrote this profile about me, basically saying that I'm new to the whole Airbnb experience. I didn't realize what, where is it? I didn't realize what the cost, the place we lease is our home. Oh, and also they said in the book not to tell anybody that it's an Airbnb because they don't want competition, which was kind of weird. I didn't know people didn't talk about the fact that places were Airbnbs. That was new to me. But basically, hang on just a second. Let me find it because I don't want to misquote it because I'm still really irritated about it. And I hope y'all don't mind me kind of like sharing this and venting with you, but I thought this was all just a very odd situation, and I hope it doesn't happen to anybody else again. I hope that this is I hope that this is a learning experience for those hosts, and that they don't treat their future guests like that again. But basically it says the place we lease is our home. The guest would have been better suited for a hotel. Like most families, we try to use products, i.e. toilet paper, until they're complete without being wasteful. Now, mind you, I mentioned the fact that the toilet paper roll was practically empty when we got there, but that was not my point in telling him that. My point was saying the place was neglected. That's the only reason I brought up the toilet paper, but for them to have brought it up, that's just fishy. The whole thing is just fishy. Philadelphia is an expensive city. A hotel can cost $400 a night. I do not believe the guest was aware of the cost of a large city. When problems presented themselves, we tried to make the guest happy. The guest refused our help but continued to complain. The guest is new to Airbnb, and with additional travels, I hope the guest will become more understanding. I wish the guests the very best in their future endeavors. You are ridiculous. You've got to be kidding me. I cannot believe they portrayed me in that way. Sure, they did it as nicely as possible, but they did that to spare themselves the expense of losing out in listings of other people. So here's my response. Do you want to hear my response to that? I can't believe that. Okay. Hey, Leah, if this was your home, and I tried to not speak emotionally because my problem is when I get mad and upset, I get very emotional, and I usually stop thinking and I just kind of blurt things out at the mouth. But I tried to keep in mind this would be public, this would be linked to my profile, and if I ever use Airbnb again, I don't want it to affect somebody renting out a place to me again. I don't know that I'll ever use them again because this is kind of like put a really sour taste in my mouth. Daniel says we can't think of it like that because they don't represent the company. They don't represent all hosts. This is just an isolated incident, I hope. I hope they just got distracted and forgot, but they're not trying to redeem themselves at all. They're actually trying to make me look bad as a bad guest, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. I'm not a bad guest. I'm an excellent guest, and I was very appreciative to be able to stay there. But my thing was, I spent a lot of money. I should have got my money's worth, right? Okay. Here's my response to them. If this was your home, then you would have been aware of the issue with the broken bed, and you would have known that you left mildewy linens in the washing machine and an old load of dishes in the dishwasher. The apartment was lovely, the cleanliness was not. The almost empty toilet paper roll was not my main concern, but rather a detail that I shared to emphasize my point that we arrived to an apartment that someone forgot to clean. You are making me seem very ignorant to the fact that a large city comes with a large expense. That is far from the truth. My issue was not the price of the listing. My issue was paying almost $200 for a cleaning fee when we arrived to a dirty listing. My advice to you for future listings is to have a checklist during the cleanings of your home and ensure, hey April, and ensure that you're providing almost $200 worth of cleaning for them. I am still waiting for my refund, and this issue has been escalated to Airbnb. I hope that your future guests do not run into such issues with you as their host. So, I would have never known. My friend Liz, on my personal page, I put up a video about it when it was happening, explaining the whole bed and everything. And my friend Liz said, you need to report them to Airbnb. Well, I didn't even know that that was a thing. So I went in and did a little research. You can request or send money to people through Airbnb through your trips. So I requested money. I didn't request the full refund. I only requested the cleaning fee. And I gave details and I gave photo proof of why I was making those requests. It said they had 3 days to accept, deny, or I forget what the third option was. 3 days came and went. They didn't do anything about it. It has since been escalated because you can go back in and you can choose involve Airbnb. And I'm still waiting. I don't think I'm getting that money back. That's not something that I'm holding my breath on. But the whole point in all of this is go into everything in life expecting things to not be the way you're expecting them to be. Our journey, everything can pretty much be pinpointed back down to our journeys. There are going to be, I need to stop playing with that pen. There are going to be hiccups along the way, speed bumps, detours, all sorts of construction work zones in this journey of life, right? Yes, baby, yes. Makoa's calling me. Yes, Makoa. What? Do you have the kitty? He's just saying, Mama, Mama. Hey, Jen. Hey, Chrissy. So we go through these things in our journeys, and we need to accept that there's no straight destination from A to B. We're going to hit some speed bumps. I went into this blindly. I had such a good experience the first time. I just expected it to be great the second time. I didn't go into it thinking that anything negative could have happened. I didn't think that, because I'm such, and I'm not naive to the world and the fact that there are crazies out there, but everything leading up to that moment, the communication with the people, the profile, the reviews, everything was so nice. It's obvious this was a very isolated incident, but they are pointing the finger at me. They won't accept responsibility for it. So here's the thing, you guys. We have to go into everything in life knowing that it's not going to be a great, joyful ride. We're going to encounter things along the way that's going to be unpleasant. We have to know that there's going to be people out there that are going to make us feel not very good about ourselves. There's going to be situations in life that make us doubt our character and who we are. We are going to run into situations where, you know, you may want to say things that maybe aren't necessarily something you would say or do, but because of your emotions and your reactions, you just want to act out. But you need to always be thinking of your future and that final destination. What is going to get you there with your sanity intact? You know, I could have definitely got real nasty about this. I tried really hard I prayed about it, and it has kept me up for several nights. And I need to accept the fact that these are just some bad seeds. And not everybody's like that. They do not define the world. They do not define Airbnb hosts out there. I should have done more research. I saw the picture of the view from their window as the cover of the listing, and I thought that that was just perfect, and I just wanted perfect, and I fell short of that because I expected perfect. I set the bar way too high, and I got disappointed in the end. And that's just life. That's part of the journey. That's one of the work zones that we come across. So I don't want you guys to just completely think that this video was all about negativity and ranting and just putting people down. If I wanted to do that, I would have put links to this listing that I'm talking about. I would have linked their profile so you guys could go find them yourselves. But I'm not going to do that. I am bigger than that. I'm rising above. God wouldn't want me to do that, and I wouldn't want to know that I did that. I wouldn't want to have to explain my behavior to my children. So, you guys, I love you. I appreciate you watching. You are amazing. And if you ever need help and support along this crazy journey, I'm here for you. So, if you've had any nightmare situations using Airbnb, feel free to let me know. Or if you've had really good ones, I'd love to hear those too. So, thanks for watching. I'll update you if I do get some money back. I don't know that I will. Leilani says hi.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, bye-bye.
I'll keep you guys posted on this situation. So, thanks again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.